JJ Okocha wasn't just a football player, he was an artist. With his silky skills, jaw-dropping dribbles and audacious flair, Okocha brought a sense of joy and wonder to the pitch that few players could ever replicate. An iconic Premier League legend, Okocha's footballing legacy is one of magic and entertainment. But how good was JJ Okocha actually? To answer that, let's dive into his journey. Born Augustine Azuka Okocha on August 14, 1973 in Enugu, Nigeria, JJ grew up kicking makeshift footballs in the streets. It was clear from an early age that he had an extraordinary gift. His elder brother's nickname, JJ, stuck to him, and soon he was wowing local audiences with his skills. Okocha's rise in football wasn't meteoric, but steady. He moved to Germany in 1990, joining Borussia Neunkirchen in the 3rd division. In Germany, he honed his craft and started building a reputation as a player with breathtaking flair. Within a year, he was snapped up by Eintracht Frankfurt, where he would announce himself on a bigger stage. At Frankfurt, and playing in the German Bundesliga between the years of 1992 and 1996, Okocha's talent began to attract attention. Defenders didn't know what hit them as Okocha bamboozled opponents with his mesmerising footwork. One unforgettable moment came in 1993 against Karlsruhe when Okocha danced past several defenders, leaving them on the ground before slotting the ball into the net. The goal was so outrageous that it's still replayed today. It was the first real showcase of the amazing talent that Okocha possessed. Despite his brilliance, Okocha's time at Frankfurt wasn't without challenges. The team struggled in the league and he often faced criticism for prioritising flair over efficiency. But for Okocha, football was always about more than winning. It was about entertaining. Okocha's performances earned him a place in the Nigerian national team. He made his debut for the Super Eagles in 1993, and within a year, he became one of their most important players. His role in Nigeria's 1994 African Cup of Nations victory was crucial, as he orchestrated play from midfield and dazzled fans with his skills. The 1996 Atlanta Olympics further placed Okocha well on the path to legendary status. Nigeria's football gold medal, where they beat powerhouses like Brazil and Argentina, was historic. Okocha's creativity in midfield was pivotal to Nigeria's dream team, as they became the first African side to win Olympic gold in football. By this time, Okocha was more than just a talented player. He was a symbol of hope and pride for a nation that looked to football as a unifying force. In 1998, after a spell at Fenerbahce in Turkey, Okocha made a record-breaking move to PSG for around £14 million, a huge sum for an African player at the time. At PSG, he continued to dazzle. Playing alongside talents like Ronaldinho, Okocha became a mentor and a kindred spirit for the Brazilian star. The two often combined on the pitch, lighting up matches with their flair and with their trickery. However, PSG's inconsistency as a team limited Okocha's impact on the European stage. Despite individual brilliance, for the most part, team success eluded him. The biggest achievement for Okocha was perhaps the 2001 Intertoto Cup, where Okocha would score 5 goals and help PSG become joint champions along with Aston Villa and ES Troy AC. Yet, despite this lack of genuine silverware, for fans, Okocha's breathtaking flair on the pitch more than justified his price tag. At the age of 28, Okocha joined Bolton Wanderers in 2002. Many believed that his career was beginning to wind down early. Why was this clearly exceptionally talented footballer moving to Bolton? Was there an argument to suggest that whilst his skill level was clearly outrageous, that perhaps other areas of his game were lacking? If this was the argument, Okocha would prove everybody wrong at Bolton. He would quickly become one of the Premier League's most iconic players. In a Bolton side led by Sam Allardyce and known primarily for their British grit, Okocha was the creative heartbeat, combining flair also with leadership. His 2003-2004 season was particularly memorable as he captained Bolton to the League Cup final and scored a series of stunning goals along the way. Okocha's Premier League highlights reel is the stuff of legend, from stunning free kicks to tying defenders up in knots. Okocha's influence at Bolton went beyond his skills. He was a beloved figure in the dressing room and also in the stands. His time at the club, though, would eventually sour, as he was stripped of the captaincy as rumours of a move to Qatar developed, a move that would eventually transpire after Okocha refused to sign a new deal. Even in spite of this unsavoury end, though, Bolton fans would vote Okocha as the best player to have ever played at the Reebok in a vote held in 2017. Okocha's playing style was pure artistry. He had an uncanny ability to control the ball, manipulate defenders, and execute outrageous skills. Rainbow flicks, roulettes, stepovers, you name it, Okocha did it, and he made it all look effortless. But he wasn't just all about tricks. He had an eye for a killer pass, a thunderous shot, and nerves of steel from set pieces. One of Okocha's most famous traits was his ability to embarrass defenders. Whether it was a cheeky nutmeg or a dazzling dribble, he played with a swagger that was infectious. For Okocha, football was as much about showmanship as it was about results. His flair was often compared to that of Ronaldinho, and it's no surprise that the two shared a mutual admiration. While Ronaldinho went on to win the Ballon d'Or and the Champions League in his career, Okocha's career served as a reminder that beauty in football isn't always measured in trophies. Okocha's career as a whole could be looked back at as a disappointment in the eyes of some, perhaps, as despite his undeniable talent, some argue that he didn't achieve as much as his talent deserved. He never won a major European club trophy, and his teams often fell short in big moments. Why did JJ Okocha never win things at the very top level, both in an individual award sense and a team trophy sense too? Critics also pointed out that Okocha's penchant for flair sometimes came at the expense of efficiency. He could be guilty of overcomplicating things or holding onto the ball for too long. But for his fans, these criticisms were simply missing the point. They simply didn't understand JJ Okocha. Okocha wasn't just a player, he was an entertainer. It's also worth noting that Okocha played during an era where African players often faced systemic biases in European football. Despite being one of the most gifted players of his generation, he didn't always get the recognition that he deserved. But for those who watched him play, Okocha's genius was undeniable. JJ Okocha's legacy transcends stats and silverware. While he didn't amass the trophy haul of players like Ronaldinho or Zidane, he did leave his own unique mark on the game. His influence can be seen in a whole generation of players who value creativity and flair, from his protege Ronaldinho at PSG to players like Neymar more recently. And in his homeland of Nigeria, Okocha is a national treasure. He inspired millions with his performances for the Super Eagles, and his impact on African football has been immeasurable. Beyond Africa, he's remembered as a player who brought joy to the game and made fans fall in love with football all over again. JJ Okocha may not have been the most decorated of players, but in terms of skill and entertainment, he was in a league of his own. He didn't just play football, he expressed himself on the pitch. Whether it was in the streets of Enugu, the Bundesliga, Liga 1, or the Premier League, Okocha made football look like an art form. So how good was JJ Okocha actually? Well, he didn't ever play for the most elite clubs or win the titles that football greats should achieve, but he was just about as good as it gets in football when it comes to joy, creativity, and entertainment. And for many fans, that's what truly matters. If you enjoyed this video and you want to watch more like this, covering more than just the 90 minutes on the pitch, be sure to check out the other videos on the channel and make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching.